This could be it. We've had our first GivEnergy failure since they've gone bust. Could turn out to be very expensive, this. Where does the liability stand? I don't know. I'm going to try and see if I can fix it though, because the last thing I want to be doing is forking out of my own pocket to fix a battery supplied by a manufacturer that doesn't work and the manufacturer is no longer in business. So, fingers crossed, this gets sorted, I can fix it. Let's head to site and see how we get on. Well, this is it, the installation. Obviously, GivEnergy inverter hybrid, GivEnergy battery 9.5 kilowatts. MCB on the side is tripping. We've got an SOC, it's all switched on. MCB on the side is tripping. We've got an SOC, so we know that it's working. It's connected online, we just can't get it to force charge. A couple of things I'm going to check. Modbus and CT clamp, because without those the batteries won't be doing either or, it won't be charging or discharging, and that's regardless whether it's from solar or grid charge. So I need to check the CT and the Modbus. Also going to check the battery voltage to make sure the battery voltage is good. If that's not, we can charge that, and check the MCB. So I have had it before where the MCB is reading voltage on the bottom terminals but not on the top, and we can swap it over. It was a big thing when GivEnergy were around. They didn't like you doing it. They're not around. I mean, what choices have we got? So I'm going to grab some tools and then crack on. I think personally in this scenario, I'm going to put my money on the MCB. Like I said, I've had that before. We can check to see if there's anything loose on the batteries and on the cells, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be the MCB. Let's have a look on the app and see how it's actually doing. So we can see from the Modbus, it is actually registering import and export. Customers put the kettle on and I could just see that go up, and I can see it drop down now. So I know the Modbus is working. I'm going to check the CT positioning just in case anything has changed there, but I still suspect it's going to be a battery issue. Let me check the CT and then we'll open the battery up and take a look. Right, so first of all, let's get this cover off and check some voltages on the battery. View account, I'm going to take a look at the customer's account as well. It was always great with GivEnergy when they were answering the phone. They would actually give some decent support initially. Obviously we know it then turned to a bit pants, but things did get rectified in the end. It's kind of sad that there is no support now. Who picks up those pieces? I don't know. Don't think it should be in the installer though. I think somebody needs to step forward, whether it be MCS or I don't know. Somebody's got to step forward, I think. Cover is off. If we look on the app, obviously we can see we've got a battery state of charge there. It's not charging or discharging, despite the fact we are slightly exporting, so it should be discharging. So it should be charging something. Look on the battery as well. Again, it's just sat idle. It's sat below 40% now for what, 1, 2, a good few days. So we know that the battery is sort of locked and bricked out. Again, we've got LEDs showing the state of charge, so we know that the battery has got power in it. I suspect it may well be a problem with the MCB. Right, there's the MCB. So we should have voltage on the bottom and voltage on the top. Top is our outgoing, so that's supplying the inverter, and bottom is from the battery cells just down here. I get this screwdriver. Obviously this terminal bar here is our supply side from the battery, so I'm going to check voltage on those, see what we get. It should be around 48 volts. If any of this is low, and we'll switch the isolator off and double check a couple of things, but it might be the cells need charging themselves. There we go, 53 volts. So I'm going to try and get voltage on this now, get that on the negative, that on the positive. 53 volts there. So we've got voltage in to the MCB, and you see that. So no volts on the outgoing supply side to the inverter of the MCB. Circuit breaker is on, so 53 volts on the supply side from the batteries to the bottom of that MCB. On the outgoing side of that MCB, absolutely nothing at all, so that's dead on that side. I think it's the MCB, and that falls within what the customer was saying about the MCB's been tripping. So I'm going to switch this off, swap out the MCB. Fortunately, I had a spare old battery at work, so I've brought the MCB for that because I don't know how sourcing parts is going to be for the future. I'm going to switch this off, swap the MCB. I'll even test the MCB outside of the battery, and then hopefully that fixes that. Battery shutting down, MCB off. Have a look what we've got here. So down to 21 volts. Okay, PZ1's good for this. Let's get another screwdriver. So this, in my opinion, should not fall back on the installer to do. There's just too many things to be ordinarily messing about with inside of there. All the buzz bars, there's too many connections. There's too much that can potentially go wrong. I just don't think it's right at all. But who are we going to turn to? So I'm going to prove, and I've not done it yet, so it might prove me wrong. I'm going to prove whether this is working or not. Turn this to continuity. Obviously continuity. Let's have a look. Across one pole, dead. I mean, there we go, we know it's the MCB already. No continuity across that one. Continuity across that one. So which way was that in? So that's not got a negative. So positive supply was going through, but no negative supply. So let's get this swapped over for a new one. See how it gets on from there. But again, what happens when you run out of components? When the installer doesn't have spare components lying around, where do we go from there? I don't know. And it's alright saying, oh, swapping the component, you're not going to be under warranty. There is no warranty from GivEnergy anymore. It's not fair. It's not fair in the slightest. I don't understand why us as installers need to be checked. We need to do insurance back warranty on our workmanship, all of that sort of stuff required for MCS. But manufacturers don't have to honour any warranty. There's no insurance backed things in case anything goes wrong. So literally isn't worth the paper it's written on. MCB sorted. Yeah, sound. Still a GivEnergy one. All good. Everything's tight. Let's get this back in, and hopefully this sorts the problem. BMS has obviously picked up some sort of voltage signal. Just can't get tight enough on that. I'm going to get a spanner for that one. Let's have a look if that does the trick. A little 8mm maybe. I think for the purpose of this, I'm going to get the cover back on. Let's fire her up and see what she does. Everything's back together. Fine with that. Let's just get 2 bolts in for now to hold it. So battery lights on. I kind of want to see that come through on the app first. Made a noise, so there's a good start. Surely should do something. Right, something is happening. So the house is taking a bit of power, so there's not really an excess. I'm going to see what happens if I change this to charge now. Let's do a time charge. Don't know what time we're on. 4:20. So if I'm going to do enable time charged, I'm going to add a time charge for 1600 until 1700. Done. Save changes. And that should start to charge in a second. what I'm actually going to do as well is I'm just going to double check that voltage on there because I forgot to check it. And peace of mind says I want to check it. So 53 and 53 both sides of the isolator. So I am quite happy that the isolator is working. So we should start realistically charging soon. 28 watts isn't really enough for me. A little bit more than 0% in the battery. Yeah, I'm not too happy with that. So that's me done. Fortunately on this time, it was only a failed MCB, which I've managed to repair. I've set this into grid charging, so it's 3.4 kilowatts going to the battery, 220 watts off the roof. The house is consuming a bit, so we've got an import of about 5 kilowatts. Fortunately this time, we've been able to fix it. What happens next time? The time after that? And when hardware fails? This can't be right for an installation company to have to pick up the tab on hardware because a manufacturer that's turning over millions of pounds goes busting. Yeah. All sorted this time.